enough, the Lubavitcher Rebbe spoke about the feminist movement as a sign of the era of the redemption, of Mashiach. It says that in the time of Mashiach, woman will take the leading role. Isha tisovev gever. The woman will surround or lead the man. Since the world is now evolving closer to the time of perfection, the time of the redemption, so women are already stepping up and taking more of a leadership role. And many times in conversations that the Rebbe had with men and with women, the Rebbe would call upon them to take a greater role in leadership and say, hey, we're in the time of the feminist revolution. Yet, that being said, in retrospect, looking at the feminist revolution, there's a tremendous amount of progress that women have made, that we've made in terms of women's liberties and their contributions to societies. And there are some things that haven't changed much or maybe have made it even harder for women. My sister was telling me that she had read on, somebody wrote on a blog that the feminist revolution gave a tremendous amount of liberty to men. In what way? A man no longer has to stand up from his seat on a bus and give his seat to the woman. Time of equality. A man no longer has to view himself as a sole provider for his family because his wife is also expected to be a breadwinner. So in a sense, a lot of liberties were given to men by the feminist revolution as well. And the Rebbe always maintained, the Lubavitcher Rebbe maintained that feminism does not mean that a woman needs to strive to be a man. Feminism means that a woman should maximize her role as a woman because she has so much to contribute. Now, let's take a few steps back. Kabbalah explains that within God's energetic forces, there's a masculine mode and a feminine mode. And everybody has masculine energy and feminine energy in their own soul, but perhaps women have more of that feminine energy and men have more masculine energy. So what is that masculine modality? Well, according to Kabbalah, there are 10 svirot, creative energies that God used to create the world, the last of which is malchut. And malchut is the feminine modality, the feminine creative power. Like we say, Shabbat Malka, the Shabbos queen. When Malchut comes down into the world, it expresses itself as the Shekhinah, the God's indwelling into the universe. So if you could imagine it, you have 1 through 9 creative energies, creative spheres that are kind of used to formulate the creation of the world. And the last one, Malchut, is what actually invests itself in the world, in this materialistic world, is God's expression, his hug, his presence in this world. So the feminine modality is understanding that God is in this materialistic world, not hovering above it, but right here, right now, even within things that seem godless, that seem random, that seem self-centered and materialistic. I'd like to take a look at another verse in the Torah. And here we have the first commandment of God to Adam and Eve when he tells them to be fruitful and multiply. So it says, Vayirarech otam Elokim, Vayomer lehem Elokim, Pru uravu umilu et haaretz vechivshuha. Be fruitful and multiply, subdue the earth, and rule over the fish of the sea and the fowl of the sky, and over all the beasts that tread upon the earth. Now, in the next source, Rashi here comments that the word "and conquer it," conquer the earth, v'chivshuha, is missing the letter vav. And this is very significant. When the Torah is missing a letter, it has an extra letter, there's a lot of significance. And here Rashi says, and subdue it. The vav in vichivshuha is missing, allowing the world to read vichivsha, the masculine singular imperative, to teach you that the male subdues the female and that he should not be a gadabout. It is also meant to teach you that the man whose way is to subdue is commanded to propagate, but not the woman. So, vichiv shuha, and subdue the world, this is a directive towards man, says Rashi. A male-centered universe where the men dominate. Being that men are biologically stronger, it makes it easier for them to dominate. But before you walk away seeing, see, I knew it, the Torah was pro-male aggression, I want to point out another verse, which is in the Parshat Noach. And here this is post-flood, and God gives Noach a similar commandment that he gave to Adam, where he says, "Vayivarech Elokim et Noach ve'et banav, vayomer lahem pru urevu umilu et haaretz." Be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth. What part of the commandment is missing? Vichiv shuha, and subdue it. Conquer the earth. The Lubavitcher Rebbe points out that there was a very important transformation that took place after the flood, similar to the transformation that will take place in the era of redemption, the time of Mashiach. The world became more gentle. The flood was kind of soaking something in hot water. You know, you just open it up, it becomes more relaxed. The world became more of a place of equality. And no longer was it necessary to subdue the universe. Well, now the appropriate modality would be to elicit the good that is already in the universe. And the Rebbe says that the vichiv shuha, the male way of relating to his sphere of influence, was something that was appropriate in a post-flood era or a post-messianic era, where the general thought was that in order to teach, you need to subdue the wildness, the wild nature of a child. We need to go to cultures that are inferior to our own and teach them the white man's burden. We need to conquer territory so that we could be a stronger nation. And this is a masculine modality of vichiv shuha. The feminine modality doesn't require squashing another person's identity and superimposing what you feel to be the right way upon them, but finding the point of goodness within them and working with it, valuing what's already there, encouraging it, reinforcing it, and bringing it out. This, the Rebbe said, is the feminine modality, and this is the way of the times. This is the contemporary modality. And the Rebbe said explicitly that men need to take lesson from the way that women operate. And this is true in education, it's true in the world of business, it's true in the world of politics, that we're much more effective when we talk about what we agree upon than what we don't agree upon. So debating with another person usually leaves both people frustrated. Because what happens when someone's debating with you? I know when I get into a debate with another person and we lock heads, so I automatically am feeling very defensive. My ego is on the line, and it's going to be very hard for me to be receptive to what they're saying because, you know, I don't want to show them that they were right and I was wrong. So debating is not always effective. What tends to be more effective is talking about what we do agree upon and then expanding that.